Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I would like to share with you 3 simple holds to harmonize body, mind, and spirit, or rather, spirit, mind, and body. We're going to start at the top, and they are related to our chest line, waistline, and hip line. And today we hear a lot about body, mind, and spirit connection, and what does that mean? Is it possible to live just in one place? Is it possible to live only in our body or only in spirit? We see sometimes people doing that, and actually, to only live in one place is not really that helpful because we have all three. We have a body, we have a mind, and we have a spirit. So to find harmony in all three is very, very important. And so I will share with you 3 holds. We will start with harmonizing the chest line, and this represents spirit. It's our connection to spirit, and it's closest to the heavens. So we will place, first actually, let's briefly listen to our pulses, and we do that like this to see which side you are gonna work on first. And we do it like this. We place the 3 fingers right here at the wrist bone, and then just take a breath here and see what the texture feels like. Then go to the other side to see which side feels louder or very quiet, which side is talking to you. And then that's the side you will place your hand. So if you don't feel anything and you're just like, what is she talking about? Then you can practice either side. It doesn't matter. Just let your hands guide to where they go innately, and then you're probably practicing the correct side anyway, the side that's more in need. So let's place one hand on our safety energy location 4. So you can move your hand over to this side. So you're crossing the body to safety energy location 4, and then the other hand on 13. And this hold will help to harmonize the chest line. The chest line, like I said, connects us to spirit, and it also allows for awareness to, and this goes beyond our thoughts. Awareness really has to do with our innate knowing and just allowing us to be. That is awareness. That is what awareness is, connecting us to consciousness, to this something that's bigger than ourselves, some understanding that we came into the world with. And to tune into that, it's important that we become quiet so that our awareness comes out to the surface. The chest line, that's where our feelings live. And I've studied a little bit of transactional analysis, which is a form of popular psychology and very, very interesting, effective, applicable. And the chest line has a relationship to our child ego state, the little child in us. A lot to do with our feelings. When we have feelings, that comes from our child ego state. And when we don't process our feelings, they tend to take a seat right here. If we don't process them, if they don't flow, they become emotions, and they put a stop to the motion of our feelings. And they can take a seat here, which can manifest in projects in this area: lung, breast, heart, anything on the chest line. Sometimes we can see that your chest is up high, and that means that that we need some movement in the chest line. And so this hold will be very helpful for that. Or when you feel very emotional, then working with the chest line is also a very good thing and an important thing to do to harmonize the energy. The chest line allows for the energy to descend or exhale. So another very important thing. And very often when we are like this, that's what we need to do. We need to exhale. We need to let go of everything we don't need. take one more breath here. And let's move down to clear our waistline. The waistline we can harmonize by placing our hand on safety energy location 12. So 4 clears the chest line, 12 clears the waistline, and we'll place the hand from the 13. We'll place it on safety energy location 23. 23 harmonizes the waistline. It's located at the waistline, right about where the kidneys are. And so is 12 at the middle of the neck, at the level of cervical 4. Cervical 4 representing the sun, the light. So it's very important that you feel this vertebra clear and not congested. If you don't feel it, then it's out of place a little bit. Maybe your neck is like this. It's important to open it up. And how we can do that is we move off the spine into the safety energy location next to C4, which is 12, and just place your hand there. Location number 12 also tells us a lot about something about our character. If you're a very willful person or sometimes even stubborn, that will manifest right at location number 12. If your hand, by the way, gets tired, you can come across this way from the front of the body and hang it. Let your fingertips just feel the gravity here of your fingertips. You're using the gravity of your fingers to get into the location here. So this is also a very nice way to hold it. If you're lying back, then this may be comfortable and also a heart opening at the same time. The waistline tells us about our mind. So if we have a lot of thoughts that may become words and then action, that will manifest right here. The waistline is to do with our thoughts that become words right here at the waistline. And again, calming our mind. So if we have a lot of thoughts, and if we are a very maybe intellectual, if you're an intellectual person, then you maybe have a lot going on here. So this can be in harmony and in disharmony. It's important that we welcome all 3 qualities of the spirit, mind, and body, and the qualities that come with it. Our feelings can be wonderful, and then there is also a time where we may need to bring in more of our adult and not go completely with our feelings. So again, that has to do with our waistline. In transactional analysis, the adult would live right here. Our executive functioning, our mind. This hold 23 harmonizes fear and anxiety, and fear and anxiety is can be one of the main causes of any kind of symptoms, projects in the body. This hold is also similar to a bladder flow, and bladder flow allows for the energy to move down the back of the head, down out of the head, so helping with to harmonize depression. If you have depressive thoughts, or if you feel really low, then the bladder flow will bring the energy out of the head and down the body. Also great for muscular projects, this hold. Waistline is where the ego lives, which sometimes can be important, and sometimes we don't want our ego to get in the way. So clearing the waistline is important. And while you're holding it, feel which hold feels most comfortable for you, and if that makes sense to you. Why? The art of jinshin is all about understanding and helping, learning how to help ourselves. Take one more breath here, and then the last step, placing our hand on our 11 and the other hand on 25. 25 is here, so you can sit on your hand like this or like this. Clearing the hip line, connecting us to the earth. Also very important. Hip line has all to do with our physical body. And in transactional analysis, I made a relationship to the parent ego state, giving us boundaries and rules, if in harmony, bringing us safety and protection. The hip line tells us about our physiology, our body. And when I was working with a lot of dancers, what I felt in their pulses was a lot of hip line need, which would be appropriate because they're working their physical body a lot. So this is a great hold also if you do exercise, and after you exercise, the body releases some lactic acid, and 25s will get rid of that. So important, this hold after you exercise. 11 is where we sometimes pile up our stress, our daily stresses. And if we have that, then you may find some congestion in there or some tight muscles. So just, bring your fingers in there a little bit, and you can hold it firmly and feel it release. It does release after you hold it for a little bit. And in all of these holds, you can feel the pulsation coming up from the locations into your fingertips. And that means that the energy is spiraling, that it's moving. So that's why we don't have to do anything much more. We don't have to massage it or press really hard, or we can just hold it gently and feel for the pulsation. And listening to the pulsation is like a meditation. It's very hard to think at the same time that you're listening to the pulse. So meditation in motion, letting the energy flow beautifully in the body. And when the energy flows in the right direction, then the body follows. The hip line tells us about the technique part. Technique, physical body, everything that grounds us into the earth. So again, all three are very important. Body, mind, spirit. Body, mind, spirit. And let's go of our safety energy locations now. Go back to our pulses and see if you feel change, if you feel transformation. The side that I was working on is really beautifully quiet. And the other side too. If you treat one side, the other side will come up. Or if the one side is overactive and you're working it will come down so that the other side can come up. So harmony lies within balance between the left and the right side, and that's what we do. So you can always practice the side that you feel is more in need, and you can then briefly practice the other side if you like. Remember that jinshin is an art, and you can take 3 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour to practice, and just really use your hands so that you practice the art, even if you're holding a finger. Now, one more little note about body, mind, and spirit, or hip line, waistline, and chest line. We can also find it in the fingers. And the tip of the fingers tells us about the chest line, the middle of the fingers about the waistline, and then the bottom of the fingers about the hip line. So the journey continues, lots to learn. And if you like this video, please like it, leave a comment. I love to hear from you, and subscribe to our channel. And if you know someone who would benefit, please share it with a loved one or friend. Thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you next week.